Welcome back on Dynamo. Today I want to propose you a series of videos about the General Handbook 2019. These are about the rules that you can find in the General Handbook 2019, and in the description you can find the playlist about. I decided to split in different videos such rules so that you can find and see ones that you are interested about, because there are quite a lot. And anyway, you can ask in the comments if you are interested about other videos and I'll try to realize them. Anyway, each video is about a specific argument. So now we can begin with the update of the Seraphon Allegiance rules. I decided to create an update because the rules about the Seraphons almost all are the same that you can find in the General Handbook 2018 and have yet analyzed it. So it's useless to repeat them again or to keep back the audio about them and redo the same videos, because it's useless. So I decided to create such video to make you know what has changed and create a playlist that you can find in the description, where you can find the previous videos about the analysis and this update itself, so that you can understand what has changed. What I can yet say that I not realized different videos about the spells that has been added to the analysis of the Seraphon, so that you can find in this video, and you'll see all the changes that can be done. So now we can start to see the changes that has been brought to the Seraphon Allegiance 1. And we can start to see immediately about the differences with the battle traits, and in particular with the Master of Orders. In fact, the ability of dispelling of the Strong Wizard has increased, because before we had the problem that not being updated, they were the same that the others ones, because with the new Sigmar Soulwars we had the increase of dispelling abilities of all the armies to 30-inch as the Strong Wizard with this battle trait. It changed in the way that now the Strong Wizard can unbind and dispel all normal and endless spells on all the battlefield, so without any range. The problem is that we lost the option to be able to have with a caster roll of 10 plus as roll-in an increase about the range of the spell itself. But considering that we gain a complete new spell lore that we analyze quite soon in this video, it's not a bad change. So we increased the ability of dispelling and in a good way, so it's a good change. The next one instead, it's about the new battle traits that the Seraphons gain, and it's related to the spell lore of the Seraphon itself and its contemplation of the ancient ones, and it lets you at the end of your hero phase pick one of the friendly slam wizard and replace the spell that they know from the Seraphon spell lore and take another new spell. So it's quite interesting in such a way, because it lets you have the way that you can personalize and update the spells, so that you can adapt during the game to your opponent's situation and so on. The problem is that it's at the end of your hero phase, so you have to anticipate what you'll do in the next turn. So take note about such limitation. But anyway, it's a great thing, because it doesn't allow the option that you miss something. So you can prevent eventually some things and create your opportunities. So it's really quite an amazing one as battle traits. I suggest you to remember to apply it. And the next main change that we can find about the battle traits, it's about Lords of the Space and Time. Here the change it's quite important, because it has been removed the dice and the effect it's applied automatically. So it's like having a 3 or 4 result for the dice as before. So now we can't have that the unit can't move at all, so it works always. But it's also true that you can't have that you can shift this unit and then make it move again. So there is gains and losses. But the fact that it's applied automatically, I think that it remains really quite amazing one. So I think that it's something that it's really soon, and you apply quite surely a lot. And then we have a little rephasing for the command traits that are only few modifying, that doesn't change at all the meaning of the sentences. It's only a rewarding. And the first one, it's about the first command trait for the skins, that it's master of the star rituals, that make become the star priest not anymore a unit name but a keyword in the text referring, and it doesn't change at all the meaning. And about the command traits, it's about the Saurus one, the second one, Filthy Skydide, that is not anymore about reroll the save rules of one for the target attack for all the attacks that the model suffer. So it's simply a better wording of it. So it's interesting, but not so much change. It's almost the same. And we had a new really add about the General Handbook 2019 about the Seraphon, and it's about the spell for the Seraphon one. Each of the Seraphon wizard can take one of such spell, and they're really quite interesting. So now we analyze each one of them, and they can be really quite interesting ones. The first spell is Celestial Apotheosis, that with a casting value of 5 plus, let you pick a friendly unit wholly within 18 inch of the caster and heal one wound allocated to that unit. In addition, until the end of your next hero phase, subtract 1 to the bravery of enemy units while they are within 3 inch of that unit. So it means that those units that are in close combat, and they can be quite interesting, this spell, because if used on monsters, Seraphon monsters, or units that have more than one wound, they can both heal the model, so it make maybe bring back to full wounds, or give back a bonuses to the model itself. But moreover, what it means, it's the second effect, that it's the malus to the bravery of the enemy. So it can be really quite interesting in both ways. It's not something special, but something that can be really quite useful. Moreover, if you think that you can heal also your characters, for example, so it can be quite interesting. The second spell is Clothes of Glory, that with a cast value of 6 plus, let you pick a friendly unit wholly within 18 inch and reroll the hit rolls of 1 for attacks made by that unit. Remember that it doesn't refer only to melee weapons, so it applies to both melee and to shooting ones, so can be really quite interesting one. So I suggest you to take note about such option, because it can be really quite interesting to improve your options, for example for the shinks, or even for other units, in the way that you can hit. So it's really quite interesting one. The third of the spells is Walk Between Realms, that with a cast value of 6 plus, let you select a friendly unit wholly within 18 inch and make that unit using fly, having the ability to fly. So it becomes really quite interesting in the way that you can bypass sceneries, opponents' units, and so on. So it can really quite be interesting one. So I suggest you to take note about such spell, because it can be really quite interesting about moving your unit or redeploy it. Surely quite interesting one. And the fourth spell, it's a Meteoric Convocation, that has a casting value of 7 plus and let you pick an enemy unit within 24 inch and roll 8 dice, and for each fly plus that unit suffer 1 mortal wound. So even if it's not useful, because it means that you go to make 2-3 mortal wounds, it's also true that you can combine it with an Arcane Bolt, or eventually with a Stellar Tempest as the Seraphon casting spells, so that you can gain, for example, in the way that you can have a maximized way to have single target spells, or against big units once. So you can gain quite a lot of ways to create a lot of damage to the opponent. So it's quite a good way to have a lot of damage, magic damage to the opponent. And the fifth spell is Mystical Unforging, that with a casting value of 8 plus, let you pick an enemy hero with an artifact of power within 12 inch of the caster, make that hero suffer D3 mortal wounds, and on a 5 plus on a dice that it's apart from the mortal wounds, you can make that artifact stop working and revert back to the original weapon if it has been substituted with. So it's become really quite amazing because you give damage to the opponent, and moreover you can make a totally dispelling of an artifact of power of the enemy. Remember that the only other option that you can gain such type of result is if you gain a specific artifact that make the opponent lose the effect of the artifact itself. This has a range, even if not quite big, because 12 inch it's not big. But remember that you can also change for the slants the at least one for time, but you can change a spell. So if you know that you are going to use such spell, you can change it during the battle. So it becomes really quite interesting in such a way, so that you create and consider it in a dynamic way for the spells. It can become really quite interesting. So I suggest you to keep note about this spell, because it can save quite a lot of efforts. Okay, it's random the effect because it's on F5 plus, but if it works, you anyway has done some damage to the opponent, and moreover you are able to gain a totally wasting of its artifact of power. That it's not a bad thing. And the last spell, the sixth, it's Solar Tempest, that has a casting value of 8 plus, let you pick an enemy unit within 24 inch and roll a dice for each model in that unit, and on a 5 plus it's a mortal wound. So it's really quite amazing, and it works perfect against big units because it has more option to make damages, and it's a good way to make a magic precious if combined with other spells like meteoric convocation. So it's something that I suggest you to take note eventually as an opening spell for your army. So really quite interesting one. So what to say about this update of the Seraphon Allegiance? I think that they are really quite interesting. The battle traits change can be really quite awesome in the way that they gain more surely about what you have to do, and they suggest quite a lot of superiority about the magic for the Seraphon, like they should usually do when they use the slants. Even if in some way the spells that you gain this update are not related only to the slan, I think that the slan anyway make you have a better usage of them, even if remember that you spend quite a lot of points using the slans. So eventually think about using the slan as the main character, but having a lot of little wizards that can have a better usage of the spells themselves, because they can give you quite a lot of interesting bonuses eventually using the spells and so on. So it's quite interesting change, and I think that they could reevaluate in a good way the Seraphon using till the releasing about the new battle tome of the Seraphon, that it's said, at least it's thought, to be released at the end of the year. So surely till the release of the new battle tome, it's really quite interesting as a way to play the Seraphon themselves. So from Dino Mode it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video, to subscribe to the channel, to ring the bell, and to comment this video if you are interested in something about this video, or you want to suggest me some arguments for other videos. I hope to see you again to the next time.